weekend, and it's just been absolutely crazy intense. And this is always really, really, really good because we have to have this shake up. We have to have this intense energy in order for us to move and to shift, to change course, to make big decisions. And we're also in Mercury retrograde as well. So there's a lot happening in the mind because Mercury rules the mind. And this is good, but we also have to be super grounded because when things like this come in, they tend to um, sweep us off our feet, or there's a sudden shift in energy or awareness, and everything is really jagged and abrupt. And what we really need to lean into is our body's wisdom. We need to recognize what is going on up here and then slowly come down into the body. So we're taking this information and then we're processing it through the senses. Am I liking this or am I disliking this? Where is my heart leading me? So it's not that we have to stop the mind from thinking, but we have to acknowledge that, yes, there is stories, ideas, inspirations. So we bring that all down into the body and we begin to sort it out. We let go of the stuff that we don't want and we begin to work with the stuff that we do want. So, how this might play out in your life during this time is you could have been doing the same thing, the same job, same relationship, the same friends for many, many years. And then all of a sudden, then you think or feel that, this just isn't bringing me joy anymore. Or, these relationships or this job is becoming a struggle or a hindrance. And it's nothing to do with them whatsoever. It's a sign that you are ascending, that you are changing. And that's something then that you need to take action on. It doesn't mean that you have to completely stop talking to those people or, continue with those relationships. But if your heart isn't in it, then you're not doing anybody a service. It's not fair on both sides. And it's the same with the job. If you are just in a job for the money and it's not bringing you joy, there could be somebody waiting for a position in that job and you are there. You are preventing them from coming in and from you moving forward. So it's all about forward moving energy. And over the weekend, there was huge energy to help you to quantum leap. So, what quantum leaps basically mean is that we shift timelines very, very quickly. So, going from just an idea or an inspiration and it suddenly begins to manifest. Or if you've been stuck in a healing or trauma or a challenge for a very, very long time, and then it suddenly resolves itself. So that's what quantum leaps mean, because basically everything is existing all at once and we're just on different levels, we're just on different frequencies. So when we quantum leap, we go to that other frequency very, very quickly. There's divine timing and then there's also quantum leaping as well. So when we are in the right frame of mind, when we make decisions, when we decide that I want to move forward, then the quantum leap can happen very, very quickly. Then things align very, very quickly. So it's all about getting into the right energy. So I know it's difficult at this time to get into the right energy because it's just so crazy. Like you can probably see by me, I didn't get much sleep last night and I was so looking forward to going to bed, but it was like, my eyes didn't want to close, my energy didn't want to close down or slow down. So what do we do with that then? Obviously, we need to let our nervous system know that everything is okay. And this is why journaling is really, really important. Like when I was journaling this morning, it was like, you need to write these things down more. So that's helping to empty the mind and put you at ease that everything is planned, everything is organized. So you can just, get into the nature's rhythm of night and day, of productivity and rest. And I know that it's always amplified around the full moon. It's one time that I do struggle to sleep. So I'm just taking it as a once off. But can you see how and feel how not sleeping or not regulating yourself can really affect your energy. So let's get into the energy of the full moon. So with the last couple of new moons, they have been like full moons, as in their intensity, as in their and how they were affecting people. So we're back now into the normal rhythm of new moons being quite subtle and soft, and full moons then being more intense. So this Scorpio full moon is definitely an intense one, because Scorpio is related to the water sign or the water element. So it's all to do with our emotions. Scorpios are very, very intuitive. And sometimes they get really caught up in the matrix, or really caught up in the chaos of this world, because they're so because water is a conductor of energy. They really, really feel things on a deep level, so all the way down into the sacral chakra. And it can be hard for them to process that energy. So um, they tend to be a bit of a hermit or a recluse from society. So don't let that stop you from being out there or socializing, because that's what full moons are all about. They're all about connecting, about radiating, about, taking those steps, because full new moons are about planting the seeds and going in, and full moons are about getting out there, showing yourself, standing in the light, standing in your power. Um, we are really beginning to evaluate our state of being. So is this way of life serving me, or is it not? Am I sabotaging myself with these habits, or am I not? And we really have to look at what we're doing every single day. So we all fall out of our routine. Okay, that's just the way we are. But how long are you going to allow yourself to be in out of the routine? So what I mean by that is, if you had a morning practice with meditation and journaling, or going out for a little bit of exercise, but you're like, do you know what? I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm too tired to do it this morning. These routines and this discipline is what sets the foundation for your well-being. So I know myself, if I don't get on the mat for at least 10 minutes, or if I don't do some journaling, I'm going to be totally in my head. I'm going to feel chaotic, overwhelmed. So it's like dedicating that half an hour a day to do what I know supports me. Then I will feel my best. Then I will be my best. So if you're feeling unworthy, and this is a big thing with the energy right now, not feeling good enough. If you're feeling stuck and stagnant, if um, you're thinking, and trying to figure out the how, this is a time to definitely get more into your body and do more body-based things, such as walking in nature. Moving your body. It doesn't have to be a sweaty hour-long gym session, but moving your body, moving the energy, because we are 70% water. And when that water gets stagnant, then we feel stuck, heavy, like nothing is moving in our life. So I've been talking to so many Scorpios lately, and they're saying like nothing has been happening in my life. So what that says to me is you're not connecting with your body. You're trying to control the outcome too much, and you're too much in your head. So you need to come down to the body and flow where it feels good, flow in the path of least resistance. So it doesn't matter if you're a Scorpio or not, but it's just funny that a lot of Scorpios have been talking to me about that lately, that their life seems really, really stagnant for the last couple of years, not just, the last couple of weeks, but years. So if you've seen this pattern of stagnation, that means that you have to look at where you are blocking yourself. Where are you standing in your own way? So this is all about being gentle, soft, be like water, formless. Because when we're too rigid, then it's like, no, things have to be this way. And then when they're not, then you start thinking it's like, oh, well, it's not for me then. So how can you be more fluid, more soft, more gentle, and letting go of the outcome? Just continuously move in the direction of things that make you feel good, because that's your inner compass. Um, And stop being so hard on yourself. It's all about moving from criticism to kindness. Because if you are not being kind to yourself, that's where the contraction happens. So if you're being kind to yourself with words and encouragement, like I'm doing my best, or today I'm going to be my best self, and that will look different every single day, rather than looking back at your day and be like, oh, I did absolutely nothing. So putting a little bit of structure and plan in place will help that water, will help that energy flow. Because if there's no structure, if there's no drishti focal point, the water doesn't know where to flow. So you have to create that channel for the water to flow and then be formless with that flow. So the softer and more gentle you are, the easier and more enjoyable the journey will be, because this is what everything is about. It's about the journey and this worldly experience. So experiencing things through your senses. So that's why I love to do ceremonies, because they involve all of the senses. And through cacao, through yoga, meditation, visualization. So the last thing that I want to say about this is that the energy will be intense for about 4 or 5 days. So we're peaking tomorrow, and then it will slowly start to level out. So the weekend was obviously extremely intense. Please let me know in the comments how it was for you, and you know, just know that we're getting to the crescendo, to the apex. Tomorrow, and then it'll start to lessen and go down. So just journal what is coming up for you at this time, what's feeling super intense, and where you need to focus your energy. Okay, so let's just see what the cards have to say. So I just want you to put your attention, your focus, any questions or anything you want to know into the deck. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Okay. Okay, pick one more. Fabulous. Okay, so this is really, really positive, and it's all about creating more of a um, positive environment in the mind. Because remember, the mind is programmed to think negatively in order to keep you safe, but it will keep you in your comfort zone, and it doesn't really care about your happiness or your joy or your fulfillment. So this is why we have to step out of our comfort zone. This is why we have to trust the universe always has our back, because if we stay in that safety zone, none of that, we can't go out to meet that. So the first card is happy thoughts. Think positive, use happy memories and affirmations to stay in the flow. So this is what I was saying about going with the flow, about choosing the environment in your mind, and that will create the energy. And it's all about getting on the frequency match for whatever it is that you desire. So stop looking at what other people are doing and just focus on what really, really, really brings you joy and happiness. The next card is lift the veil. Look at the veils that's wrapped around you. Discover what lies beneath and destroy it. So when I read this card, sometimes it has a little bit of an aggressive tone at the end with destroy it. But if you think of Goddess Kali, she is a mother, but she also is a destroyer. So this is where we have to look at the dark and the light feminine. It's like, yes, I can be fluid, I can be light, I can have positive thoughts and thinking. But sometimes we need to have to just be disciplined and stand in our power and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. And ourselves doing it to ourselves. So that's where we have to turn around, face it, and then be like, I acknowledge you, I send you love, but now I'm letting you go. So we have to be a little bit more assertive. So being gentle in lifting the veil, peeling back the layers or whatever, structures or whatever things we have, walls we have put around ourselves, and, look what's underneath there. And if it's not serving you, then you have to let it go. So I like to use the word letting go rather than destroying it. But also, what would be a really good thing during this time is to write down all of the things that are holding you back, or all of the things that are weighing heavy on you, and burn them, because the fire element is super powerful. The next one is the road less taken. The hardest road is the invisible one, but it's also your path to glory. Keep walking. So, if you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to do extraordinary things. So, getting up a little bit earlier, having that routine, doing the spiritual work. And again, I don't think it's the hardest road, but it's definitely the road less taken. Um, and it doesn't have to be hard. But what I feel this card is getting at is just being a little bit more disciplined, just going that little extra mile, just pushing yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. And yes, you will be rewarded for your efforts. So whatever you put in, you're going to get back 1,000 times more. Um, but if you're not putting in the work, if you're not um, navigating towards your future self or your higher self, life is just going to be like Groundhog Day, repeating itself over and over and over again. So the last one is sparkling ideas. You're brimming with ideas, write them down, read them once a month, and pick one. So, you know, the inspiration will be at an all-time high during the Scorpio full moon, because we're very, very much connected to the spiritual realm in the sign of Scorpio. So it's those ideas that you just think that they're a fleeting moment, or a cloud passing in the sky, but it's like, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to write that down. So when we're manifesting, or when we're working with inspiration or ideas, loads can come. We can get lots of downloads, lots of ideas. So it's important to write them all down, but just focus on one. It's like when you're trying to multitask, it takes you forever to get everything done, and you don't really enjoy the process, and you probably don't get everything done. So it's about taking one of those ideas, probably the lowest hanging fruit, and just go with that then, and just really pour yourself into that and give it 100%, and you will see the fruits of your labor. And imagine if we just stuck with one thing a month, or one project a month. Imagine how much you would get through, and the completion that would happen through that process. Mm, I really, really like those cards. They're quite positive, and it's like, if you put the work in, you will receive the reward. So if you're not putting the work in with simple things like your meditation, your journaling, you know, doing the things that make you feel good and raise your vibration, um, you're not going to get where you want to be. But if you are continuously showing up like you would in the gym, 3 to 4 days a week, and eating healthy, to see your body change, or to get to the body that you wish. And I always use exercise as or the gym, or weight loss as an example, because it's like, well, if you want to get to that body, if you want to get to that result, you have to put the daily consistent work in. You can't just decide 4 weeks before your holiday, right, I'm going to go all in. Well, you might get the results, but they won't be long lasting, and you'll just go back to old habits again. So what you do every day is going to bring you closer and closer towards your dream life or your future self. So we are going to do a super nourishing ritual with our cacao. So if you don't have cacao, please have a glass of water or your favorite tea. Just have some elixir, something to drink during this. After our cacao ceremony, then we are going to do some very, very gentle breath work to help align. balance the energies, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, and the sun and the moon. Because when they are out of balance, like me last night, too much sun energy, too switched on, I needed to connect more with my moon energy. So we're going to do some gentle breath work with that, gentle movement, just to help open and align our chakras. And then we're going to go into an Akashic record journey. So the Akashic records are the book of life. Everything that was, is, and will be. So all of the information is there. But our intention is to connect with the information that is going to help you to move towards your higher self. And when we get that information, then we can start implementing that information, how to get from here to here. And it's something that I do very often. And it really helps me to stay focused, stay accountable, and say, yeah, my future is just there waiting for me. I just need to move towards it. Because sometimes if we can't see where we're going, we're like, what's the point? Why should I put all of this work in and not know that I'm going to get the results that I want? So when we see our future self, we can take the steps then back and to where we are, and then start to move toward that on a daily basis.